All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to get all infinite praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Hakodash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, the elder bishops, across the forms of the earth that pushing and teaching the truth, aside teachers to the hopeful elect. Coming back to you through the spirit of power, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, another lesson in exaltation, Lord, slow, quick, and edifying, straight to the point. And I was, you know, it was on my spirit to go and prophesy. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here now and trying to set up, but the wind started getting a little bad, and it was starting to actually feel that cold, man. You know, starting to actually feel that cold. So I said, you know what? Now you're gonna try to be, I don't want to be over righteous. Try to stay out there, so I'm freezing to death and shit like that. So, if the Lord allows it, I may to go tomorrow, or, another day. Throughout the week. But it is what it is. So I decided to just go live. Hit on a couple of things, and you know, would that be a wrap? you know, and a couple things, honestly, not even a couple things, a lot of things, some things that may not even get covered in this video. I'm gonna try to get through it as fast as I can, try to hit a couple things, as much as possible. But as much as everything going on, man, shit, there's no telling when the Lord may come back. You know, maybe very soon, maybe, later down the road. Hey, man, that's why it's always important to watch and as well as pray. Got to keep watching, got to keep, being involved in this truth. To actually know and to actually understand what is going on. All right. So I don't even know where to begin. Well, I had this scripture pulled up, James 5:1. Because I was just looking over some things that's going on amongst the economy and amongst the dollar, because the dollar is crashing. Hard, man. It's crashing hard. You just had a big crash in the metals and the minerals. Gold, silver. The prices of gold and silver done went down. It dropped dramatically. Gold was at 5,000 something, in between, in the mid 500, 5,500s. Around there. But now, well, actually, let's go look at it right now. Let's actually go look at it right now. Let's see. Ooh wee, damn. So the price of gold was at like like I said, 5,000, like 5,000 something. Right now is at 4,907. It's at 4,900, close to being 5,000. But before that, it was way lower than that. It was way lower than that. It's starting to, rise just a little bit, I guess. Let's see about silver. Let's see about silver. Ooh, it went down a little bit more. It was at like 90. Silver was at like 100 something just a couple days ago. Now it's at 85. It's at 85 now. So, and here it is in the news. It's happening everywhere. India, they reported on it too. This coming from their articles. Times of India, gold silver price crash, 5 trillion loss in market cap. What led to spectacular fall and is the bull. All right. So yeah, something's going on. Something going on, man. You know, but all this is leading up to the crash of the dollar. Because it's imminent. that this dollar is gonna crash, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be the world currency anymore. You know, in some form of way to those that actually know, you know what I'm saying, never been a world, you know what I'm saying, currency. It's just been placed there by, you know what I'm saying, the US, you know what I'm saying, which is really just the puppets of who actually controlling the dollar, you know. Um, it just been placed there, you know what I'm saying, just for something that people do believe in and think is quote unquote real currency, but it's actually fake currency. It's fiat currency. That's what it is. And matter of fact, it been something that I looked up earlier. Let's see. Con. This is what I looked up earlier. I said, what is the dollar backed by? And this is what AI gave me. All right, the AI overview. It says, since 1971, the US dollar has not been backed by physical commodities like gold. I believe at one point it was backed by gold, but that's when they changed over the currency. You know, so I believe when it says since 1971, I believe that's when they changed over the currency, right? It is a fiat currency backed by the quote unquote full faith and credit quote of the U.S. government, including its ability to tax, its economic stability, and its authority to mandate the dollar as legal tender for settling debts. So these motherfuckers is printing money. And that's what they actually doing. They actually printing money. That shouldn't be too hard to understand, to figure out. A dollar bill is literally paper. You can literally burn a dollar. That's paper. Something that can easily be destroyed. How can it have any value? That's something that a lot of people don't get. Money's supposed to have value, but yet it's so easy to burn it. It's so easy to burn riches, to burn through it all. Because all you gotta do is just light a fire to it. But yet people are literally losing and sacrificing their lives over this money, over this dollar. People are literally just working their whole lives just to keep afloat with this fiat currency and not knowing that is a fiat currency. As a matter of fact, let me actually look at that word fiat for those that don't know. You know, it just meaning fake, you know, fake money, right? Here's the definition for it. Fiat currency is government issued money. Government issued money. It's money that is issued by the government, that is made by the government, like the dollar or euro, that isn't backed by a physical commodity. In parentheses, it got gold/silver, right? Which has more value than gold and silver has more value than the dollar, hands down, hands down. Gold and silver has way more value, you know what I'm saying, than this fake ass, you know what I'm saying, Abraham Lincoln ass fucking picture of a dollar or whatever, you know. I say Abraham Lincoln because he got the $5 bill right here in my face. You know, say it got pictures or whatever. Uh, Fiat currency is government issued money like the dollar or euro that is backed by a physical commodity, gold and silver, well, gold/silver, but holds value because people trust the issuing government, the is issuing government and its central bank to maintain its worth through monetary policy, making it legal tender but also susceptible to inflation if mismanaged. Its value comes from decree, and of course, they got the parentheses fiat. I want to get that word fiat. What that word fiat means. That what I want. Fiat meaning. Uh, okay. What does fiat literally means? Fiat comes from Latin for "let it be done." Hmm. It means an official, authoritative decree, order, or sanction that creates something or make it happen. And that's the dollar. A dollar is like a damn, what is it? Um, I want to say it like a treaty because it's not something that you sign. The dollar is not something that you. Well, it's part of something that you sign with, But dang, trying to find a way how to fucking say this. But basically, man, they're doing thing. They're trading. They're doing all this. What I'm saying, around the world with what I'm saying, foreign countries with the dollar, and that's what the other countries, what I'm saying, trusted in, because that's how what I'm saying, America made the dollar. They made it to where it's the world reserve currency, and what I'm saying, it's the best currency in the world. What I'm saying, that's why they said it as the world reserve currency. All right. But at the end of the day, this shit has no type of value whatsoever. And half of these nations don't even know that. But them BRIC nations, what I'm saying, Brazil, Russia, China, right, India. There's more other countries that just not popping in my head right now. But they all then started their own currency. You know, I showed a picture. Matter of fact, I'll show it again real quick. Mm, all right, hold on. Uh, digital gold back settlement. Oh shit! So it's backed by gold. The bricks. This is what I looked up when I try to search for the picture. This is why I look up BRICS currency, which you can look at the picture if you want to, if you want to see it right now. I'm just about to read this real quick. The BRICS nation of Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and newly added members are developing a new digital gold-backed settlement unit called the unit. I guess that's what it's called, the unit. In the parentheses, it got 60% local currencies, 40% gold. Okay, to facilitate cross-border trade, aiming to reduce reliance on the U.S. dollar and Western financial systems. Cause they figured that this system was only to help the Americas, only to help the West, and not really to help other countries. Though that's how they're portraying it. You see, these other nations, these what I'm saying, the other two world powers, Russia and China, you know, other than America, China and Russia are the other two main superpowers in the world. For them to be, what I'm saying, for them to come together and to create a currency to overpower the dollar, hey man, that's saying something. And that's gonna actually crack they're gonna soon crash the they're gonna crash the economy. Cause China, they selling US treasuries. They're selling it because over there is no, I believe it's Japan. I believe Japan is selling the US bonds because their dollar is failing as well. Their currency is failing. I believe the yen or whatever the fuck that shit called. You know, their currency is falling. It's failing. So they're selling the bonds, the US bonds, just to keep theirs somewhat afloat. You know? And that's how these different countries do. They buy each other, saying debt or whatever, just to pay it off or whatever. Saying I'm still, trying to learn the whole the system of all this going on. Saying, but and that's how the Rothschilds got rich. That's how they got rich. Oh wow, they push their banking system upon the world. They I say upon the world, upon saying countries that they control. Which they control basically the whole fucking world. Yeah, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, all of them. Saying the top banking families, they control the world, and their saying banking system is run through everybody. You know, everybody runs through their banking system. You see, but how the Rothschilds got rich, I believe was I want to say Nathan, not Nathan Rock. Who was it? I just had to look him up the other week. Um, it was during the Napoleon the Napoleon War. I don't even know how to say it. They got a Napoleonic War, whatever the fuck you want to call that shit. The war that saying at Waterloo. It was during that time where both sides they were um there was it's locking from my brain farts. I've been trying to remember some of these stuff. 'Cause I be looking up a lot of stuff, man. Saying sometimes it don't be about the same thing. I just be looking at different things literally at the same time. Um, both sides were I believe, trying to search for um products to help them win the war. Both Napoleon and saying the side he was fighting with. I forgot who was fighting him, but I believe both sides went to the Rothschilds, man. Both went to the Rothschilds, and at that time, saying the Rothschilds, how they was able to have the upper hand, they had spies. You know, they had people that was literally in the war sending him a message before, anybody else knew. The Rothschilds was the first to know who wins the war. And when I bring up Napoleon, whoever he fought, let me look that up. Who did Napoleon? Who did Napoleon fight at Waterloo? So I say like I guess England, the English. Cause I got here that said British, Dutch, Belgian, and German troops, and Prussia. Against the British. I'm gonna say against the British. That's what Napoleon was fighting at that time. So Napoleon was fighting with the British, and anyways, whatever. All this is taking me off track. Basically, how certain countries and saying nations crash and get rich or whatever is by either selling or buying bonds, selling or buying bonds. America is staying afloat just by those bonds alone, and as well they trying to keep up with their economy by, weakening the dollar even more. That's how Rome fucking fell. They saw that their economy was failing, and therefore they started weakening the dollar even more, started attacking the people even more, and you know, of course, the amount of wars that have been going on right now time, and you see the same thing going on now. You see the same thing going on now. They were spending too much. They were spending too much on their military and all that. To try to boost the defense and boost their military power. You see America doing the same fucking thing, the exact same thing. It's nowhere near different. This is Rome all over again. All right, but of course the people not going to see it. Your everyday average, uh, 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 Babylonian, I should say, your everyday average Babylonian would not see that at all. Your everyday Roman would not see that. Your everyday American would not see that. Because why? They look at it. They look at this place as to how it is in their face, and not what it is spiritually. So yeah, man. Everything, all this going on. What I'm saying, with the bonds and all that. And like I said, I'm still learning on it. Still learning about it. You know, myself. But this is crazy, man. This is ridiculous. And all this just to save, you know, just to save this place, America. People know that America is done for. And again, we in the 250th year of America ruling. You know, America is considered an empire. That's how long empires rule. America is an empire, and they at the 250th year of their reign. So all this finna come down, man. All this finna come down soon. All right. Let's not to mention the amount of unemployment that's finna happen here, man. Cause they's talking about that as well. As the dollar continuing to crash, they talking about you know firing a bunch of people, firing uh federal workers, and as well as other corporations and all that. Because it's too much money being wasted. Why spend money on these people when we can keep it and just try to pay off this quote unquote try to pay off this debt, which they not worried about the debt. These motherfuckers are not worried about the debt. At least I would like to think of it. They don't fucking care. You see everything that's going on here in Babylon the Great, they don't give a fuck about that debt. They don't give a damn. Matter of fact, when he do this reset, that debt is not even gonna be on their mind. That debt can easily be erased with just one click of a button. One click of a button. These people are not worried about their debt. They're not worried about none of the shit that's going on. They just worry about their agenda. They just worry about actually forwarding their new world order. So with everything that's going on with, other nations selling their bonds and this and that, the third, they don't fucking care. They don't care. It's going to lead to a reset. And that's when that digital system is going to come in, which I honestly believe we already in it. It's just that reset is going to have to, um, that reset is going to allow everything to just fall in place. You know what I'm saying? To pat together and just go ahead and click start and boom. You know? And then they talk about another government shutdown. That could be the reset. Who knows? I believe they was talking about either tonight or I don't know. I forgot when they said it. Watching the video I was watching, it was either saying in 48 hours that I believe a brother posted that. And so like I'm gonna get on with the scriptures. It's just a lot, it's just coming to mind. It's a lot that again, man. This is we the prophets. Lord will we are those prophets that in the eyes of you. How about Shemel Shai? You know, we got to continue to be on top of these things, man. It's a lot that's going on. Let's see what that video was. I believe this the one. Yeah. Oh, so lucky. Forgot I'm connected to the car. Right.
By the way, if the government shuts down, 50% of IRS gets furloughed, so you will not be getting your tax.
Furloughed, I believe that's I looked up before. I believe it means that they're gonna let me start doing this to myself. I'm gonna just look it up. It won't take nothing but a minute. Furloughed, meaning suspend or discharge uh a worker from a job, especially temporarily, on account of economic conditions or shortage of work. That because they can't come to a deal, quote unquote, on a funding bill, which is them just gonna print more money, and print more money. Their understand their whole goal is to try to get rid of the dollar, and trying to switch over to this digital currency, which is the system where it's gonna allow the mark of the beast to come into play.
You will not be getting your tax. Repeat that. By the way, if the government shuts down, 50% of IRS gets furloughed. So you will not be getting your tax refund anytime in the near future. If ever, if ever. To be honest, it's also then harder for them to track who isn't paying taxes. But I predicted this back in October that they would shut down the government right before tax season, and that would be the thing that leads to economic crisis, because they have to cause a big economic crash, because Trump is Hindenburg. He is the guy who causes
That nigga is a psycho. Trump is a fucking psycho. This man don't give a fuck about the country. He came in the office telling y'all, hey, we're gonna make America great again. We're gonna take this. We're gonna fix this place. Look at what's good. Look what the fuck is going on now. You MAGA motherfuckers, man. Look at what's going on now. Is y'all happy? Is y'all fucking happy? Y'all voted for this man, and now look at it. Look how America is now. Look where America is now. But y'all have faith in this man that he want to get America back in tip top shape. Nah, this man is dragging this place down the fucking toilet. And by the way, I don't know if anybody told you, this man don't give a fuck about y'all. He don't fucking care about you damn people. He only care about the rich and only the rich. Those who have money. Money. Dollar bills, y'all. You know what I'm saying? That's all these motherfuckers care about is fucking money. Yeah, y'all got y'all fucking head stuck in the ass of fucking America and think this place finna fucking continue. No, yeah, how about Shemal Shah is coming to destroy this place by any means necessary, man. And look how the way he's doing it. Beautiful. Your pa. Everything that the Lord is doing is beautiful, man. It's beautiful. And how the way he set it up. You know?
The crash and the hyperinflation.
So like, you play it back a little bit. Or I'll play all of it back.
By the way, if the government shuts down, 50% of IRS gets furloughed. So you will not be getting your tax refund anytime in the near future. If ever. To be honest, it's also then harder for them to track who isn't paying taxes. But I predicted this back in October that they would shut down the government right before tax season, and that would be the thing that leads to economic crisis, because they have to cause a big economic crash, because Trump is Hindenburg. He is the guy who causes the big crash and the hyperinflation, and then he goes out of office either via medical event or because something heinous finally comes out of the Epstein files that they've all known about since the beginning. But it's time.
Oh yeah, about that, some new files came out. Apparently, some new files then came out. I haven't seen nothing about it yet, so I don't want to speak on it. But hey, shameful spewing upon that glory.
They actually get to use it, okay? And then they move in his successor, who's like, yeah, we have to do something to help the people. Like, this is crazy. And corporations help in to give you money. And you guys are like, finally, the billionaires are paying their fair share, and you guys all cheer. And that is literally fascism. You just sold all your freedom forever. Like, you are no longer allowed to have an opinion, and anyone who does will be killed.
You know what I'm saying? All that is going to lead up to the MOTB ultimately. You know what I'm saying? Where you're going to give up your freedom, you know what I'm saying, for the fact of surviving Salakia, for the idea of surviving in America, you know what I'm saying? Man, America is fucking finished. America is finished.
Like, they will go to camps. Okay, so you need to go read some World War II history, because you guys have no idea how this fucking story ends. All right? By the way...
Yeah, that's one thing about it. There's nothing new underneath the sun. Nothing new underneath the sun. You know? Whichever ways of how an empire went down, you know, how much more glorious are the plagues that will be upon the next empire. And that next empire is Babylon the Great. And the Lord said you're going to do way worse to this place than what he did with any other civilization. You know? Yeah, so Lucky, go ahead and get to these scriptures, man. Like I said, I started with this one. Well, I wanted to start out with this one, James chapter 5 and verse 1. And I believe I went on, it's been 30-something minutes. I ain't brought out the scripture yet. So yeah, let me just go run through some of these. So the book of James chapter 5 and verse 1, and it reads, go to now. Matter of fact, I'm going to read this in the NOT. I'm going to read all this in the NOT. Verse 1, look here, you rich people. Weep and groan with anguish because of all the terrible troubles ahead of you. All right, read over. The book of James chapter 5 verse 1 NOT. It reads, look here, you rich people. Weep and groan with anguish because of all the terrible troubles ahead of you. Jacob's trouble. All right. Going to be a lot of people going to be mauled by, you know what I'm saying, bears and lions, you know. People going to be, you know, terribly murdered in the streets. You know what I'm saying, brutal ways. You know, all for the sake of these people want to be rich. All for the sake of these people want to be rich. And then, you know what I'm saying, AI videos here and there showing that, I believe it was one that, you know, a couple brothers did videos on, where you saw Trump in the ballroom, ballroom, you know what I'm saying, enjoying himself at a lot of his ass kissers, you know, in the ballroom, eating, you know what I'm saying, nice food and this and that, the third. All while they panning the scene to people in America suffering. And I mean straight up suffering. Getting beat by same thing that's going on literally. Police brutality on the streets. People living on the streets. You know what I'm saying? Trying to make ends meet, trying to pay our bills, trying to decide which bill to pay, or how to eat, or whatever the case may be. Same struggles that you see going on now is how that AI video was putting it and showing how Trump look at America. So showing Trump interest in helping this place. And like I said, Trump don't give a fuck about this place, man. You know? And as we've been saying, from the apostles on down, from the elder apostle Har on down, Trump is that cruel Lord, speaking of in Isaiah chapter 19. He is that cruel Lord. But y'all people won't see it. Y'all ain't going to see it to the day where it will cost you your life. All right. Verse 2. Your wealth is rotting. The dollar is crashing bad. Your wealth is rotting away, and your fine clothes are moth-eating rags. Your gold and silver have become worthless. The very wealth you were counting on will eat away your flesh like fire. That's speaking of this dollar crashing, man. The fall of this dollar, People are gonna lose their fucking minds, especially when they come to the understanding, the true understanding of the system and everything, how they fool the people. These people finna go fucking nuts. When I say people are literally gonna lose their fucking mind, they're gonna lose their fucking mind. Them demons are actually gonna take over them, man. Just understand that. Them people are not gonna be themselves no more. Catholic believing and having faith and trust in this place and learning that it would just been used against you. Man shit. Man shit. Man shit. Man shit. That's all I'm gonna say is man shit. Man shit. What the fuck? Just get your popcorn and drink ready. Cause your spiritual popcorn and drink ready. Cause it's finna be a time like no other. This treasure you have accumulated will stand as evidence against you on the day of judgment. Cause you got all these riches by the sea. I believe, let me see. I believe that's, all right, we're kind. The book of Ecclesiasticus, from the book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as the book of Sirach, chapter 10, and verse 8, and it reads, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. For Jacob is the end of, for slip of the tongue. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob, Israel, is the beginning of it that followeth. You remember the blessing have fell upon upon Jacob, right? The blessing fell upon Jacob, not Esau, not Ishmael, Jacob, through Isaac and through Jacob, and upon the Israelites that have been birthed by Jacob, the sons of Jacob. All right. Back over to James. Verse 4 now. For listen, hear the cries of the field, Salaki. Hear the cries of the field workers whom you have cheated of their pay. Ultimately, that's all of America, but understand that it is really Jacob against Esau, you know, really those the main two characters in this movie of Yahweh Shemel Shai. You know, he cheated of us out of our wages. Cause really, you're supposed to pay your workers, you know, your service or whatever, on that day. Right? Matter of fact, let me see, let me get this real quick. Let me find this. That's a law. All right. Here it is, the book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 13. And this is the law. Thou shalt not defraud thy neighbor, neither rob him. The wages of him that is hired should not abide with thee all night until the morning. So that means pay him, you know what I'm saying, after he done your work. Let me see, let me get that the NOT real quick. The NOT, do not defraud or rob your neighbor. Do not make your hired workers wait until the next day to receive their pay. All right. And that with Esau, you gotta work a whole week just to fucking receive your pay. Not even just that, you gotta work say you just started this one job, you gotta work that whole week. You gotta wait till you gotta work the whole next week. And then wait till the end of the day of that week to receive your pay. That's getting paid weekly. Don't even mention bi-weekly. You gotta wait 2 fucking weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks you gotta 2 weeks you gotta you gotta hold up you gotta wait to receive your pay. 2 weeks. You know, so this man got everything backwards. All right. Bet James 4 NOT still. For listen, hear the cries of the field workers whom you have cheated of their pay. The wages you held back cry out against you. The cries of those who harvest your fields have reached the ears of the Lord Yahweh of Salakia. The ears of Yahweh Tazaba'af, the Lord of hosts. Right? You have spent your years on earth in luxury, satisfying your every desire. You have fattened yourselves for the day of slaughter, man. All right. So these devils, you know what I'm saying, of course, starting with the top banking family, starting with them first and foremost. It's going to start with the top banking families. With the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Oppenheimers, you know, these motherfuckers are going to get it bad. You're going to hear their ass crying and shit, you know, LVOD elect, those of us that's in the know, you know what I'm saying, Lord's will, that when we in them chairs and we watch down the destruction of this place, you know what I'm saying, we're going to see these devils, you know what I'm saying, they could be in their bunkers or whatever, you know what I'm saying, laughing it up, you know what I'm saying, fucking party, drinking wine or whatever, thinking they're safe. They just don't know. They just don't know. But these devils just don't fucking know. Well, they probably know, they probably don't. So fucking what? They're gonna know in that day. All right. So I believe this is in the book of Ezekiel chapter 7. Matter of fact, hold on. Ezekiel 7 and verse 19, and it reads, "They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Lord Yahweh. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity." And the fact that these devils created their own currency, which is not backed by anything, that shows you that the dollar is really the stumbling block for this place. Though is what kept this place going. It's really a stumbling block. You know what I'm saying? For many, actually. Because like I said earlier, going back to what I said earlier, people be killing over this shit. You know? People literally be losing their lives over this shit. Be doing the utmost. Do the absolute most just to just to make a living, just trying to get this dollar. Just trying to keep up with this dollar, man. You know? So that's that. It's actually one more I'm trying to think of. I believe it's in the book of Zebaniah. I believe it's in the book of Zebaniah. Zebaniah, yep. The book of Zebaniah, chapter 1, starting at verse 14. All right, the main verse down to 18. Verse 14, and it reads, "The great day of the Lord Yahweh is near. It is near and hasteth greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord Yahweh, the mighty man shall cry there bitterly." You know, because everybody gonna be, you know, even men, grown ass men, you know what I'm saying, that you think, you know what I'm saying, have a strong mind, you know what I'm saying, that are literally, you know what I'm saying, quote unquote battle warriors. You know what I'm saying? They know how to be calm under, certain situations and here and there, whatever the case may be. Even the strong-minded men will be like babies that in these times, man. They would be like fucking children, bawling their eyes out. And I'm not trying to make a joke or anything. I don't joke about, death too often. But these motherfuckers finna be like these kids, that be carrying down in classrooms, when a shooter is involved. When a mass shooter comes in their building, their school, and they start shooting it up. Grown men finna start being like children in that day. Just like those children, man. All right? Verse 15. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and a day of wasteness, and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. And I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord Yahweh, and their blood should be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung. Right? And here's the point. Neither their silver nor their gold, and that goes into their money system. All right? The fiat currency, the dollar, the US dollar. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. But the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, for he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. All right, a quick let me actually get that word riddance, see what it means. All right, riddance, the action of getting rid of a troublesome or unwanted person or thing. That what Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is going to do with Esau. He is a unwanted, a troublesome man that is not wanted or needed whatsoever. Definitely not needed. Definitely is not needed. No wanted. Causing so much trouble upon the earth. He got to get the fuck out the way. He got to get the fuck out of here. All right. Lord is about tired of this devil, man. The Lord going to make sure this devil, is taken out of the way, just for his people to rule. For his people to be in peace. For his people to actually live. For his people to actually worship him, man. For righteousness to flourish through the earth. That what is needed for the earth. The earth is in pain right now. The earth needs to be nourished back to its full health, and we gonna have to do that. But we can't do that in the state we're in. We can't do that in the state we're in. Nor can we ever go out into the streets and flagging ourselves as if we the world's heroes. No, the actual hero is on his way. So we're not getting involved in none of the shit that is going on, here in Babylon the Great. Everything that's going on here in Babylon the Great is ordained for it to happen. This place is going to fall one way or another. You can't get the fuck in the way of the Lord, or was he bringing this place down? You going out to try to, do something against these ICE agents, that's you getting in the way of the Lord. You got to understand, this is Jacob's trouble. Whatever's going on by them ICE agents is set for the Lord to do so. Right? So then not very good classic. All right. The book of Amos, chapter 3 and verse 6. Shall the trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Right? Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord have not done it? Surely the Lord Yahweh will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants the prophets. What the Lord is doing right now with them ICE agents is him on the left-hand side casting judgments. He's judging his people. Hence the term Jacob's trouble. It's also Esau's trouble. It's trouble for the rest of the heathens, but it's mainly trouble for the Israelites. Which is why it's called Jacob's trouble, is because the Lord is only dealing with his people. He's only dealing with his people. The apple of his eye. The nation of Israel, on whom he laid his law upon and ordained them to keep. Which we will keep it when we can come back to the land, man. We're gonna have to. We could be in the new covenant. We're gonna have new bodies, and we could be with the Lord forever with the Lord, man. All right. It's 50 minutes already. I ain't even got through literally half of what I want to go through. It's all good, man. I'll play this real quick. Cause like I said, you mad because you voted for this man in this office, man. So listen up. Farmers have officially fucked around, and we have officially found the fuck out now, guys. I am on the verge of bankruptcy. I'm on the verge of tears. Overnight, all of my help fled. My help, out of fear for their safety, their lives, they fled. And now I am left out here standing in my unharvested carrot field. It is January, and I'm in Kansas, and this is when carrot harvest goes. In Kansas, this field should be full of workers, but all my workers left. And who the do you think is to blame for that? Every single one of them left. Now I have to by myself try to fill that truck with a load of carrots in one day, and I can't do that, guys. I have to get these carrots to market by next week, when my contract is terminated. This is $936,000 worth of carrots right here, and I can't pick them by myself. If they're unharvested, I will get kicked out of that contract, and I will get sued by the Planters Loves Carrots Company. These farmers are feeling it, man. You see what's going on over there in England and France. Well, farmers and their tractors trying to go inside the I believe what try to go into the building while the officials are, they dumping manure and all that stuff in the streets, man. You see what the farmers are doing, you know. But here in Babylon the Great, even the farmers, man, listen, man. Let me get this, cause this talk about the true Lord. The book of Isaiah, chapter 19. I'll start at verse 1. Isaiah 19:1, and it reads, "The burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt. And the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it." All right. And please understand that, when you read about certain nations, like here it says Egypt. It's talking about Babylon the Great. The Bible is a history book, but yet it is a book full of prophecies, in which things that happened before can also happen here, the time which we living in, which is literally is. What I'm about to read to you is about to happen in real time. All right, verse 2. "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians." Right? As you would know, the Egyptians back then were very dark-skinned people. They were black as fuck. But those were Hamites. They were not us. They were Hamites, the so-called Africans. All right. But now, here in modern day Egypt, it is Esau Edom. It is the so-called white man, which will be against their own. you know, civil war and all that. That's what's going on here in the over there in Minnesota. It's nothing but a test run. Nothing but a test run. All right. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof. And they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers and to them that have familiar spirits and to the wizard. They're gonna go to your damn necromancers and people that wave their hand around the ball. They're gonna go to tarot readers, all that shit, whatever. These people will go to witchcraft and try to consult with the dead, consult with spirits, demons, and this and that. The third trying to receive understanding and try to get answers of what the fuck is going on here in America. And shit, the Lord may just allow them to receive that answer through those spirits, but receive the answer to which they're not looking for, which will be the answer. America is falling. America is falling. Lord may just have them spirits or whatever that these people go to, like I said, the wizards, the charmers, idols, whoever, man. And a few examples I don't give, necromancers, fucking tarot readers, I don't know what the fuck them people, the hand readers or whatever the case may be. People want to go to those type of people to try to receive answers, but they're not going to receive the correct answer, or the Lord may just put the spirit upon them to receive the answer, but yet not in the way of which they're looking for. All right. And here's the scripture here. The main point in verse 4. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, said the Lord of hosts. All right. Who that sound like, man? That you can't never put upon nobody else other than Trump now. Nero 47. Nero Vivios. Vivi trying to say that word. I've been trying to say it ever since El Pastor Hart been saying it. Nero Vivos. Something like that. I'm damn sure to get it down fast. But this is Trump, Nero. All right. The Egyptians will I give over to the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, said the Lord of hosts. All right. And the water shall fail from the sea, and the rivers shall be wasted and dried up, and they shall turn the rivers far away, and the brooks of the fence shall be empty and dried up. The reeds and flags shall wither. You know what I'm saying? So everything want to fail here in America, man, all because of Trump actions, all because he want to, which at the end of the day, man, this man is really a puppet. He's really a fucking puppet. So it's nothing else really to say about this man. He's doing the work of the Lord. The one point in time, one video that he said to the reporters as he was going into his helicopter, he says, I am the chosen one, as he lift up his hands and look up to the sky. If you don't believe that this man's the cruel Lord, then hey, I don't know if you're actually looking at this stuff spiritually, man. Because a lot of this man doing through the spirit that you can literally pinpoint into certain traits that is that the scriptures say that that these devils will have. This man full of pride, full of wickedness. He's corrupt. But at the end of the day, he's doing the work of the Lord. So hey, continue to do what you do. Continue to do what you do, man. All right. Let's see. Go to 2 Ezra chapter 9 and verse 1, and it reads, He answered me then and said, Measure out the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there should be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. Then should thou well Salaki, then should thou well understand that the Most High speak of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. You see, all this been ordained, man. You know, you just don't get in the way. Let's see. Select. I'm trying to look for this next scripture here. Let's see. Can I bring this out real quick? It's not what I'm looking for, but I'll bring it out. The book of Isaiah, chapter 48, and verse 3. I have declared the former things from the beginning, and they went forth out of my mouth, and I shewed them. I did them suddenly, and they came to pass. The Lord is doing all of this, man. All right. How can you ever fail? Understand this. How can you ever fail? We understand that the Lord got power over everything that is happening upon this place, man. Even as of right now, for what it's looking like, as I'm looking right now, it's looking like ice is falling right now from the sky. So I guess it's quote unquote snowing, as they've been saying that a snowstorm is going to come around. They've been doing it since I left out the house. It definitely looked like ice. Looking at the bench next to me, like a bunch of ice on top of the bench. You know, definitely look like ice. Yeah, man. The Lord is doing all of this, even while these devils say, saying that it's a storm coming or whatever, and we know that they controlling the weather with the weather machines, heart weapons or whatever. We know it's the Lord actually doing it as well. You know, does it make me think of the videos of which I saw about these people in the snow? They took a big ass fucking thing of snow, and they took a lighter and they put it towards the snow. That snow not burning whatsoever. That snow was not burning. It was not melting. Well, I say it like this: it was burning, but was not melting. Understand what I'm saying? The ice was burning, but not melting. It was just turning black. It was just turning black. And one devil said that shit smelled like fucking plastic. You see, man? I want to find that other scripture though. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, it's right here. It's lucky. The book of Isaiah, chapter 42, starting at verse 8, and it reads, I am the Lord Yahweh, that is my name. Yahweh, he is. And my glory will I not give to another, neither my praise to graven images. That's why it's only one. That's why it's only the Heavenly Father. It's not no other. People trying to go to other gods and trying to seek wisdom and guidance. But the Lord said that no other God but me. No other God but me. There's no other God but the Heavenly Father. Verse 9, point, behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them. How do he tell you? By way of the prophets, by way of his men. All right. Um, I think that's back in the book of James. Yep, back in the book of James, same chapter, the book of James, chapter 5, and I'm gonna jump down to verse 7 this time. Verse 7, and it reads, "Be patient, therefore, brethren, unto the coming of the Lord. Behold, the husbandman waited for the precious fruit of the earth, and have long patience for it, until he receive the early and latter rain. Be ye also patient, establish your hearts, for the coming of the Lord draweth nigh." It draweth nigh, man. All right, I keep reading. "Grudge not one against another, brethren, lest ye be condemned. Behold, the judge standeth before the door. Take, my brethren, the prophets, who have spoken in the name of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, for an example of suffering affliction and of patience through much tribulation." I might as well get that. I might as well get that. The book of Acts 14, verse 22. And it reads, "Confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of the Most High." All right. There's another one actually. Let's see. Let me actually try to find that one. There's another one that I actually like. I like them all, but this one definitely. Um, Let me do it like this. Let me look through it here. 'Cause I want to believe it's in the book of one of the two letters of Thessalonians. Is this it? I want to believe this is it. Let me go look through First Thessalonians real quick. Yeah, I believe that's it right here. If not, then I'll just get this and the other one I got now. I may just end it. Like I said, I may just keep going. It really doesn't matter. It's the book of First Thessalonians, chapter 3. I start at verse 1. And it reads, "Wherefore, when we could no longer forbear, we thought it good to be left at Athens alone, and sent Timothy, our brother, minister of the Most High, and fellow laborer in the gospel of the gospel of the Messiah, to establish you and to comfort you concerning your faith." All right, "that no man shall be moved by these afflictions," right? Your sufferings that you're going through, as well as the sufferings we're finna go through in the times to come. "For yourselves know that we are appointed thereunto. For verily, when we were with you, we told you before that we should suffer tribulation, even as it came to pass, and ye know. For this cause, when I could no longer forbear, I sent to know your faith, lest by some means the temper had tempted you, Satan, and our labor be in vain." Right? Even the Lord said to Peter that Satan seek to have you. Paraphrasing that. If any brother that knows what that you can put it down for me, please. Um, let's see. I'm gonna jump down here to verse 11. Verse 11. Now the Most High Himself and our Father and our Lord Yahushua Hamashiach direct our way, direct our way unto you, and the Lord make you to increase and abound in love one toward another and toward all men, even as we do toward you, to the end he may establish your hearts unblameable and in holiness before the Most High, even our Father, at the coming of our Lord Yahushua Hamashiach with all his saints. All right, and that's our ultimate goal, is to be blameless, to be blameless. Okay. Mhm. I'm gonna jump back over to Second Thessalonians chapter 2, and I'm gonna start at verse 13, and it reads, "But we are bound to give thanks, always to the Most High for you, brethren, love of the Lord, because the Most High have from the beginning chosen you to salvation through sanctification of the Spirit and belief of the truth." Excuse me. And the sanctification of the Spirit is you going through your trials, your trials and tribulations, to be purified. All right. Whereunto he called you by our gospel to the obtaining of the glory of our Lord Yahushua Hamashiach. Therefore, brethren, stand fast and hold the traditions which ye have been taught, whether by word of our epistles. Now our Lord Yahushua Hamashiach himself and the Most High, even our Father, which have loved us, have given us everlasting consolation and good hope through grace. Comfort your hearts and establish you in every good word and work. You know, because these times we coming into, man, it's not going to be easy whatsoever. It's not going to be easy. You know, that's where we got to continue to cleave unto Yahweh Shemel Shai. Right? Matter of fact, let's go over here to the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 2, and starting at verse 1. And this whole chapter is beautiful. This whole chapter is beautiful, man. It's beautiful. All right. And matter of fact, I'm going to just read the whole thing, honestly. The book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as the book of Sirach, chapter 2, and verse 1. And it reads, "My son," and this is my favorite scripture here, man. Coming into this truth, this was my favorite scripture because this was somewhat around the first scriptures I come to learn, actually applied, because when you start when that bitterness starting to set in, man, that bitterness, it gonna be bitter. I tell you this, from first experience, you come into this truth, it's going to be bitter. It's going to be bitter, man. The councils, having to really discipline yourself. Hey, them times can be bitter as fuck. But hey, that's why you gotta apply these scriptures, to yourself. Verse 1, my son, does the Lord address you as his son? You know, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. He telling you to prepare, because hey, this walk is not fucking easy. Yes, it may look like that, quote unquote, by how the way we do it, sometimes y'all just don't see behind the closed doors. Y'all don't see behind closed doors of what we have to deal with, man. You know, even in front of you, you still don't know what we fighting. We fighting to get some serious shit here, man. My son, if thou comes to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. That prepare your mind. Prepare your mind. Don't just try to prep, carnally, physically. You buying your little foods, you trying to stack up, this and that, the third, you being asked the little preppers, but actually prepare your mind. Do you actually understand what the fuck is going to come to this place? Do you know what the Lord can do? Do you know what he will bring upon this place, man? The type of questions you're going to have to ask yourself. Are you ready for this thing? Verse 2, set thy heart aright and constantly endure. Constantly endure, man. Constantly endure. Constantly endure. Read Matthew, the 5th chapter. Go read that chapter, man. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure. And make not haste in time of trouble. Don't go out your way trying to, seek other help when you're going through some struggles or what you think the Lord can, come around and fix. The Lord can always fix your situations. You don't think he just putting you in a situation just to test you? That's the Lord. That's what the Lord does to every brother in the truth. He testing every brother. He going to test everybody. At the end of the day, whether you being tested or not, you going to be fucking tested. You're going to be tested. Why I say that? With the mark of the beast. For the Israelites that not doing the works of the Lord, but yet they know the Israelites, they listening, whatever, right to the videos, they still will be tested, man. All right. And I definitely say this too. Yes, everybody's suffering, going through their little battles or what here and there. You know what I'm saying? But the fight of the prophets, I guess I say it like that. The fight of the prophets, the battle which the prophets are fighting, is uh it's a world more it's a more strong about it than certain other battles of which other people are fighting. Some battles are too strong, some battles are too, are a little less, you know. At the end of the day, it's of the Lord to give you the ability, to fight through it all. All right. Verse 3, cleave unto him who Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient without art changed to a lower state. All right. Matter of fact, since I said that last statement, let me go get this. All right, the book of 1 Peter, chapter 5, starting at verse 6, and it reads, humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of the Most High, that he may exalt you in due time, casting all your care upon him, for he cared for you. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking to whom he may devour. All right, here's the point. Whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. So, every brother's, fighting, amongst their own fight, but you got to continue to endure. You got to, hey, just like what I quoted earlier, and I'll see it on the screen. So, I guess I'll try to find it. I was shout out to Peter that, Saint even wished to let me get it real quick. Here you go. The book of Luke, chapter 22. The book of Luke, chapter 22, and verse 31. And it reads, and the Lord said, Simon, Simon, was the name of Peter. You know what I'm saying? His name will later change to Peter. Simon, Simon, behold, Satan have desired to have you, that he may shift you as wheat. And that's Satan against all of us. You know? That's why, what I'm saying, the book of Ecclesiastes, it said, my son, prepare thy soul for temptation. Because Satan going to tempt the fuck out of you. Verse 32, but I have prayed for thee, that thy faith fail not. And when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren. So when you come into this faith, you know what I'm saying, you're starting to grow, and another brother come up under you, you got to strengthen him as well. You know, strengthen those that are, coming into the faith. You know, who the Lord, you know what I'm saying, grafts in onto the tree. You see? But the Ecclesiastes, at verse 5 now. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him. All right? So whatever battles, whatever sufferings, whatever, trials and tribulations that you're going through, you're going to have to, suck it up and deal with it, man. All right? You're not going to go through it, you're not going through it alone. Ultimately, how about Shemel Shah is with you? You know? You just got to understand that and believe that. You know? And ultimately praying, of course, praying is one of the best, is the best medicine to have on your person, on your arsenal. You know, you gotta constantly pray. You know, um, this the book of Salaki. Now that made a huge difference. Con, the book of Philippians, chapter 4 and verse 6. Be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto the Most High. All right. Let's see what this. Yeah, yeah, that's about it. All right. You gotta constantly pray, man. Can't just sit there and be like, you know, I could do what I can, whatever. If it's actually fucking with you, you know what I'm saying, to the point where it is truly vexing to your soul, you gotta pray, man. You gotta pray. And ultimately fast. Roughly paraphrasing, these go out, the these spirits go out. Let me see something. And it's a lot, I'm gonna try to, get through this as fast. You know what I'm saying? Just through the spirit. Come real quick, the book of Matthew, chapter 17, and verse. Let's start at verse 20. Matthew 17 and verse 20, and it reads, And Yahushua said unto them, Because of your unbelief, for verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of a mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, Remove hence to yonder place, and it shall be removed, and nothing shall be impossible unto you. All right. Verse 21, the main point. How beeth this kind, talking about these demons, how beeth this kind goeth not out, but by prayer and fasting. Okay? So ultimately you gotta, pray and fast, man. Pray and fast. You know? So let me go ahead and try to get through this. Back to Ecclesiastes, the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 2 and verse 6 now. Believe in him, and he will help thee, order thy way aright, and trust in him. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside, lest ye fall. Ye that fear the Lord, believe him, and your reward shall not fail. All right? He will continue to guide you and keep you, your way. That you ultimately you cleave unto him, you praying, you constantly, uh it's starting to get worse. It's like just looking at this damn quote unquote snow. Anyways. But yeah, man, just like I read in Philippians, you gotta constantly make your supplications known unto the Lord. He can't help you unless you ask for it. Verse 9, ye that fear the Lord, hope for good and everlasting joy and mercy. All right. Verse 10, look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? On whom did he ever despise that called upon him? For the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long-suffering and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins and saveth in time of affliction. He saveth in time of affliction, man. All right. Verse 12. Woe be to the fearful hearts and faint hand, and the sinner that goeth two ways. A double-minded individual, man. At one point in time they believe, and now they having doubt. They having doubts. All right. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believed not, therefore shall he not be defended. Whew. Woe unto you that have lost patience, and what will ye do when the Lord shall visit you? And that goes out to the individuals that lost the faith. Come on now. They that fear the Lord will not disobey his word, and they that love him will keep his ways. They that fear the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua will seek that which is well, pleasing unto him, and they that love him shall be filled with the law. They that fear the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua will prepare their hearts, your minds, and humble their souls in his sight. Salaki, saying, we will fall into the hands of the Lord and not into the hands of men. For as his majesty is, so is his mercy, man. All right. So, hey, like I said, this is the beautiful chapter here, as well as other chapters, books, that's been written for the edification, for the encouragement, in the faith, which all these scriptures are, encouragement of the faith. But like scriptures like these, to keep you edified, to keep you, refueled, so to speak. All right. Let me see. Let me look this Is there really anything else I want to bring out? I may just play a couple of videos. Well, I'm gonna play two more. I'm actually play two more. I'm gonna play two more, and I'm gonna show you the videos. Show you these two here. All right. So here goes one. Here goes the first one.
Look at that. You see all that? Australia, the world map, right? Look at this shit.
It's like I'm trying to show you where it's not too much lighting, and you can actually see it.
Look at that. You see all that? Australia.
Excuse me. I guess that's good enough.
The world map, right? Look at this shit. See the date? 2026 129 13,269 new cases. This is X. This is fucking X. Didn't I tell you this shit is out worse than COVID? Let's look at all the countries that have. Look, India, that's Brazil, Nigeria, Pakistan, Indonesia, Russia. Look, Qatar. Look at all the look at all the cases. With a 90% fatality rate. Look at all the infected countries. Look. Do y'all see that? Let me get back so y'all can see this. This is the X countdown. This is real shit. Look. So while you're running around with your tongue hanging out, the countdown clock already started. But then infected. Look at this shit. Y'all need to be wearing that full face mask. I really would if I was y'all.
Here we go with the mask. Here we go with the mask again. You know? And here's another one. This is going into the government shutdown with the dollar crashing and all that. Right here. Here you go.
I'll repeat that one more time. Total shutdown of ATMs, credit cards, and trading platforms. They won't panic in the streets, so martial law locks in. Their CBDC nightmare rolls out unchallenged. That's right.
Good. One more time. Probably a few more times.
Repeat that one more time. Total shutdown of ATMs, credit cards, and trading platforms. They won't panic in the streets, so martial law locks in. Their CBDC nightmare rolls out unchallenged. That's right.
Put it one more time.
I'll repeat that one more time. Total shutdown of ATMs, credit cards, and trading platforms. They won't panic in the streets, so martial law locks in. Their CBDC nightmare rolls out unchallenged. That's right.
And that's how these devils want it. That's exactly how they want it. You know? They don't want no pushback for any of this, which it will. It's going to be pushback. You know? They don't want well, of course they don't want nobody to, you know what I'm saying, to come against them with this whole thing going on, this and that, the third. That's why it's taking them a bunch of That's why it's taking them a long time to try to set this thing up and try to get it into place or whatever, this and that, the third, and setting all these policies into play. You know what I'm saying? Allowing the policies to do what it needs to do to try to get the people in the way of how they want the people to be. You know, but then they didn't know that they're gonna expect this and they're gonna have it and this and that, the third, and sooner or later they just not finna give a fuck no more and actually show their ass. You know, and with these devils, man, they done a whole lot of studying, whole lot of, you know what I'm saying, research and experiments and this and that, the third. Matter of fact, since I said that, one more video, just one more video, one more. It's lucky. You say everybody got quiet, and they just started panicking, screaming, or whatever. I'm gonna let you look at it one more time. Now, of course, everybody ought to know about the invasion in Venezuela. Everybody ought to fucking know about that shit, right? Reports been coming out saying that the U.S. had used, they used nothing but 20 fucking troops, 20 of their troops. The U.S. they used 20 of their troops, only 20 of them, and they managed to quote unquote kill hundreds. To kill hundreds, how is that possible? Reports been coming out saying that these motherfuckers been using technology and devices and whatever on which the Venezuelan people knew nothing about. They was not ready for this type of attack. And the attack they did was, one, they shut down the whole fucking grid of Venezuela. Then two, they enacted a weapon that caused severe internal damage in the people, causing them to bleed immensely out of their nose, mouths, and inside. They throwing up fucking blood, bleeding in the inside of their brain. Some actually fucking died from that shit, I believe. You know? So this kind of weapon that these fucking devils they're using that's never been heard of, you know what I'm saying, from the what I want to say from anybody, but I'm pretty sure other countries, how advanced they is. I'm talking about Russia and China and all, you know, the more advanced countries. I say that they ought to know that America got some of this shit, but who knows? America is a crafty nation. And really, when I say America, I mean the devils. You know what I'm saying? It's people. You know, Esau, the Edomites. Y'all are some crafty ass individuals, man. You know, and understanding who we dealing with and understanding the powers to be, man. And like I said, the research and all that they did, man, they ought to know how to conceal certain shit, but it's still not a good job of how they doing it. Because most of the shit that they put in place to hide their, you know what I'm saying, their agenda and then to hide themselves, it's really been using against them. It's really used against them. AI is used against them, but yet they created it. So you know what I'm saying? Hey. Real quick, let me get just a couple more precepts. These are going to come out of the Book of Psalms. So, all right. This is the Book of Psalms, chapter 64, and verse 1. All right. To the chief musician, a psalm of David. Hear my voice, O Yahweh, in my prayer. Preserve my life from the fear of the enemy. All right. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. The secret counsel starting from the elites, right? The top Bickett families on down. from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongues like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect are the Israelites. Suddenly do they shoot at him, and fear not, because they don't give a damn. They have no remorse of killing Jake. Going back to the time of Cain and Abel, Cain did not give a fuck whatsoever. This man say, am I my brother's keeper? Am I supposed to really watch over my brother? Should I really watch over this nigga? The Lord, the Heavenly Father, questioned this man. Questioned him directly and said, "Where's thy brother?" The Lord already knew, but he had a question. He had a question Cain. He had a question his ass. You know? So this devil is he's just what we call him, or what the scriptures call him, the devil. The devil, man. You just can't emphasize that enough to individuals. Like the white man, this damn cracker in the fucking government is the damn devil. But not everybody gonna fucking realize that when the times come, and we ain't even gonna say shit. The men of the Lord, we're not even gonna say shit to y'all asses, man. You know, and this coming from the elder brother Amawan Gabar. You know what I'm saying? One video I saw he made speaking of these times to come. He said, man, when all this he ain't said it just like this, of course, but when all this said and done and people gonna try to look for answers and this and that, the third, trying to search for us, you know what I'm saying? That I told you so ain't even gonna matter in that time, man. It's not gonna matter whatsoever. We just want to see you people get the reality check that y'all deserve, man. You know? Get a couple more real quick. The Book of Psalms. Let's see. Let me get it there. The Book of Psalms 143 and verse 9. Deliver me, O Yahweh, from my enemies. I flee unto thee to hide. I flee unto thee to hide me. All right. Verse 10. Teach me to do thy will, for thou art my God. Thy spirit is good. Lead me into the land of uprightness. Quicken me, O Yahweh, for thy name's sake. For thy righteousness' sake, bring my soul out of trouble. And of thy mercy, cut off my enemies, and destroy them all, so I can destroy all them that afflict my soul, for I am your servant. You know? And that's beautiful, man. We're gonna need protection in these times, man. We're gonna need protection, spirit, divine intervention. We're gonna need that. Let's see. I already got that. I get this. The Book of Psalms, chapter 41, and verse 1. All right, a Psalm of David. Blessed is he that considereth the poor. Yahweh will deliver him in time of trouble. We are the poor, man. We don't have nothing on the side. There's nothing tied to our name whatsoever on this side. So therefore we poor. You know? Poor poor in many ways, man. You know? Verse 2, the Lord Yahweh will preserve him and keep him alive, and he shall be blessed upon the earth. and thou wilt not deliver him unto the will of his enemies. The Lord Yahweh will strengthen him upon the bed of his of languishing. Thou will make all his bed in his sickness. I said, Yahweh will be merciful unto me. Heal my soul, for I have sinned against thee. My enemies speak evil of me. When shall he die and his name perish? Ooh, when will this devil just patiently waiting for that day when the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai bring this devil down officially, man. Verse 6. And if he come to see me, he speaketh vanity. His heart gathereth iniquity to itself. When he goeth abroad, he telleth it. All that hate me whisper together against me do they devise my hurt. An evil disease say they cleaveth fast unto him, and now that he lieth, he shall rise up no more. Yea, my own. Well, yeah, that's good. That's good. You know, I done read enough. Yeah, man. Man, let me see something. Let me see. Oh, yeah, here got another one. Here's another good one. The book of Psalms 140 and verse 1, a Psalm of David. Deliver me, O Yahweh, from the evil man. Preserve me from the violent man, which imagine mischief in their hearts. In their heart, continually are they gathered together for war. They have sharpened their tongues like a serpent. Adder's poison is under their lips. Salah. Here's the point. Keep me, O Yahweh, from the hands of the wicked. Preserve me from the violent man whom have proposed to overthrow my goings. And that's these devils, man. They see that the prophecies are being fulfilled. They see that Israel is coming together, and they want to stop us. But they're not going to stop us. They're not going to stop. They're not going to stop the Lord, because this is all the Lord's doing. He's gathering the Israelites, the elect. You know, we're all coming together. We coming back together through the spirit of power Yahweh Shemel Shai. All right. You can't stop this, E. You can't stop this, Esau. You'll never stop this. Never, ever, ever. All right. Yeah, I'm going to end on that. It definitely look like it's about to be snowing, I guess, for the whole night. I don't know. That's what it's looking like. Got a bunch of snow pile right here on my damn window. But whatever. But Lord's will, y'all was edified. Lord's will, you know, as I may come out again either tomorrow, try to prophesy. Lord's will. At the end of it is Lord's will. So you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. We'll see. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and end it by giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rachar Kodash. All right. And double honor to the apostles, the elders, and the bishops across the four winds of the earth that puts in teaching the truth, and salutations to you, brothers and sisters, you Akim wa Akwakfium. Right? Akwakfium. Salakia. you know what I'm saying, that are in the household of faith, man. All right, continue to keep the faith, continue to believe, and continue to, you know what I'm saying, keep in mind, focus on this truth, man. You know, as we're going to continue to say, watch as well as pray, because you may not know when your time may come. All right? So, shalom, 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 and a Bible ball. Death to this place, death to America. Shalom.